Hello. I shouldn't really say this, but this is not a very good video. If you make it to the end, fair play. But warn you now, it's not the best video. You see, I started this race and I've won. Put on how many bets? 5 £1 bets and made a profit on number 2. Yeah, but this is really an example of what not to do. I was testing out different strategies and alternative ways to go about using BetMover just with small stakes, and that's what this video is. So this next race I don't make a profit. Backed a couple of horses there at the top of the market, and the idea of it, the concept, which may actually work at some point in the future, and you may be able to get it working now, but for me at the moment, my main focus is the back in late and lay in early in the race. I'm focusing on that, and whether I double down or treble down on the selections based on solid data, and also the development features which you'll have access to soon make it a lot easier. But with this, I was trying to almost scattergun my options across as I could see them unfolding earlier on. Excuse me for coughing. And yeah, it was not a good way of doing it. There's not as much control. There's always the scope, as we can see in all these examples now coming up, where there's a horse that gets up late and wins. Just really finding options with this to try and think, okay, these are the early factors, maybe with the splits or the way that it's running ahead of the par line, or the way that they're all bunching up, near the end. There's only so many options, and if we're covering the main contenders, trying to squeeze out a profit. But it's too frenetic with in-play racing to do that, in my opinion. Or, like as I said, at this moment in time, with these options I'm demonstrating here, with the new development features that are coming in, it could make it a lot easier, because the software is being moved forward very quickly. But yeah, this is, again, if you've made it this far, fair enough. Got one more race to show you after this where I lost. Obviously losing in the UK wasn't enough for me, testing out this method. So what I thought I'd do is try it out in the USA. And yeah, I mean, the USA racing, I've been told, is quite easy to predict. And I did predict the winner very early on in the race. Let me just watch this and get an idea when I actually jumped on, because if I would have just been using my usual approach of getting on as late as possible and finding some value, I'd have made money here. I'd have only just backed the horse that was most likely to win, which is number 3. That does go on to win, and I do back that horse, and I would have made a decent profit. But I was testing out this backing more than one, covering options approach over this day, and yeah, it went tits up again and ended up, I think, making a small loss or reducing my profit down to nothing. So in this example, I think let me see what I do. I said I do apologise, this video is not the best, it's not my usual standard. I will get back to my usual standard after this weekend when I turn 50. There you go. I made a profit. I'd have just left that alone. I backed it twice, yeah, so I'd have just left it alone. But I thought number 2 might be getting up to ruin the party later on. You can see that in the odds, but the odds with the US racing are nothing to go by. Because the liquidity is so poor. Even at the end, you'll see that it sort of pauses and it's not exactly 100% clear which horse has won until you obviously look at the screen. You can see very well that number 3 got up to win. But anyway, yeah, don't do this. Don't do as I do with this approach. I'm using small stakes and just testing things out, and this one didn't work, so I thought I'd share it with you. Okay, that's it for me. Thanks.